supports it. You know, after the recession of 2008, we stopped doing a lot of things that we should have been doing all along. We stopped maintaining and improving our roads. We're addressing that. But we also slashed the Parks Department. And this Proposition 407 will address that. No increase in your property taxes. It will replace the existing bonds as they are paid down. So as we get additional bonding capacity, that's when we'll issue the bonds under Prop 407. It will do a tremendous amount all around the city. 22 pool renovations, 2 pools reopened, 25 new splash pads, lighting for sports courts, soccer fields, baseball diamonds, 3 new parks, 28 new parks, 28 new walking paths in parks, 19 new and 14 renovated restrooms, 19 improved irrigation systems, and anytime we install new equipment in an irrigation system, it becomes more water efficient. So that's an important part for saving water as well. Improvements to 2 golf courses, but those are entirely, except for a small part, to increase water efficiency. So we will save money as golf courses use less water, and we'll save money immediately. 54 renovated tennis courts, 22 new pickleball courts, and you know, I'm a little wet because I rode my bicycle here tonight, and if you believe in bicycle and pedestrian safety, it will also make significant progress in partly funding the Bicycle Boulevard Master Plan. We need to get bicyclists off of the main arterials where they are safer on low stress, low speed residential roads as opposed to the arterials. The arterials is where the fatal accidents happen, and if we can get bicyclists off of those arterials, main arterials, will considerably improve bicycle safety. Also, where paths, where the bicycle boulevards and major pedestrian routes cross main arterials, this will cover significant ways to get across the arterials safely for both bicycles and pedestrians. There is a great interactive map, TucsonAZ.gov/parksbond, and you've got those little trifold small pamphlets. That URL is in there too. You can see at that site what is going to happen at your neighborhood park, parks you go to, connectivity, bike paths, pedestrian facilities. You can study all of that at that website. So see what matters to you, see where the places you go, the parks you use, and you can look it up and see exactly what is going to happen under the Parks Bond at those locations.
Would you just say it one more time? Tucson AZ.
Yes, TucsonAZ.gov/parksbond.
Thank you.
Proposition 408. The state legislature wants to tell Tucson not surprisingly, what to do. And they want us to force us to hold even year city elections. Now, I'm voting no on Proposition 408 because I believe that the ballot is very crowded this year, right? And if I were running for city council, I would have a real hard time getting any attention from the voters. Fortunately, I ran in 2017 in a city election, and I just find that, in a long ballot, in a long even year ballot, the voters, the voters' attention by the time you get to the very bottom of the ballot is, it's sometimes non-existent. And resources, you just can't get the attention of the voters like you can in an even year, in an odd year election, when you're the only issue on the ballot. So that's why I'm going to support it. I'm going to vote against it. It's also an important point. So the state legislature has tried to challenge odd year elections, odd year local elections for several ways for several years. And they finally came up with a test that will probably that will be challenged in court, especially if Prop 408 is defeated by the voters of Tucson, but stands a better chance of surviving a court challenge than previous efforts. Previous efforts have been found unconstitutional, and they're basing this attempt on turnout. So if the turnout in an odd year election is less than a certain amount of the turnout in the previous even year election, then the city will be forced to move to an even year election for local elections. So it's a rather clever device, but they're still just trying to tell Tucson what to do, and I don't like that. Proposition 463. Again, like the Parks bond, no increase in taxes. It will replace existing bonds, outstanding bonds, as they're paid down. And the important point on Proposition 463 is that the city of Tucson will get $201 million for roads within Tucson. It's a total of $430 million. $201 million of that will go to Tucson for mostly residential roads in Tucson. So that's why I'm supporting it.
Just to clarify, Paul, with the city parks bonds and the county road bonds, if they pass, will anybody's taxes go up?
No.
Thank you.
Questions?
Isn't 408 part of a national attempt to preempt local governments?
It's happening in states and cities across the country. The issue is that state legislatures are more often than not controlled by the Republican Party, and many cities, Tucson among them, are controlled by the Democratic Party. And that's why this is going on. So in the interest of full disclosure, I will say that whenever you hold an election, there is some cost. So if we went to even year elections, we would save some money. And that's the only real reason to vote for Proposition 408. But I believe that democracy and local control is more important, and that's why I'm voting no.
I have a question. Are other cities in Arizona on the even odd year?
Yes, Phoenix is, and Tempe is, and no, they are odd year. And now Phoenix already put it on the ballot, and it passed. A similar measure passed by over 60% of the vote. So Phoenix has already voted to go to even year elections.
Isn't repairing roads using oil, and doesn't it encourage car use? And aren't we trying to get off of oil?
So
Why should we make it easy for people to ride around in their cars and go fast as well?
we are also moving to adopt a complete streets approach to roads throughout Tucson. The city council is firmly in support of that. All previous votes have been unanimous, and a group is working on a complete streets policy and will probably adopt it in January.
What does that mean, a complete streets?
Complete Streets says that all users of the roads, pedestrians, bicyclists, wheelchairs, and cars, should be equally safe, should have equal access, should have just equality in all respects. They should have equal safety. They should have equal accessibility. They should have equal ease of use. And so I think that, basically, I favor the complete streets approach, because I think all users, we had an international expert come to town, and he has a philosophy that he says 8 to 80. 880. If you're 8 years old or if you're 80 years old, you should have equal mobility. That's complete streets.
And do you have that? Is that on your on the website or anything connected to your information that you have as council person?
I have talked in the newsletter about complete streets, and I'll continue to talk about it as developments happen.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. One, you mentioned it's not going to be a taxpayer or a burden to the taxpayer for these improvements, so where's the money coming from?
So it will, both the county roads bond and the city parks bond will replace existing bonds as they are paid down. So as a bond is paid down, you have additional bonding capacity without raising taxes. So the timing of both the bonds issued under 463 and 407 will only replace existing bonds as they are paid down. So no increase in taxes.
I just want to clarify. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify, is Complete Streets similar to the Living Streets Alliance?
So the LSA is conducting the project of preparing the Complete Streets policy. But they are soliciting input from a wide group of stakeholders.